What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown. My name is Zach from Another Letdown Media and the This Is Difficult video game podcast. This is the show where I hang out with good friends long after we probably should have been thinking about going to bed. But we have a ridiculous backlog of miniatures that require painting. And there's an old adage that says if a miniatures painter ever runs out of projects to paint, he or she will die. So we're just out here trying to stave off death for as long as possible. And I'm, as always, joined by my co-host. It's our resident monkey handler, Broody Gambit. How's it going, dude?
It's going great. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, me too. It's just the two of us tonight. We know Chamali seems to have run and hidden from daylight savings time, and Adam, as usual, is missing in action. So, as with all the shows that we host on the Another Letdown Media channel, as well as the This Is Difficult podcast network at large, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone and in being as inclusive as possible. So any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. So, let's paint. Who do we have today? Well, there's two of us. We've got... Why did you just reset the chat? That was weird. I've got Falcon. I started Falcon last week. He's got a lot of detail to him, so I haven't even bothered to work on his base or anything like that. My guess is I'm just going to be working on him for a while. Due to the daylight savings thing, this might end up being a short stream, so we can at least grab a couple of extra minutes of sleep. But we're nothing if not diligent out here. And you're working on a couple commissions?
Yes. Someone has asked me to print and paint some characters from a miniature game called Dust.
Okay.
A Weird War 2 type thing.
Oh, interesting.
So I have two of those minis printed now after a big debacle with my 3D printer.
Uh-oh. Go on.
The set screen broke.
Oh, no.
I was printing, so...
Now, you're still on the Photon S, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I will be taking delivery of my Photon M3 Premium on Monday. Very excited. And I think what I'm most excited about the new 3D printer is the upgraded capacity, because let's be honest, the Photon S capacity sucks. The build plate is just so small.
Yeah, it is small. It's good for what I'm using it for, but I'm not doing any really large things.
Well, you also live in a somewhat warmer climate than I do, so your printing window is a lot longer.
Yeah.
Where mine is basically just May through about maybe early November if I'm lucky. I did, however, order, because I'm an insane person, 3 new Game Boys today.
Nice.
One is for me. I ordered the Orange Spice Game Boy Advance for myself, which is a Japan exclusive color. Although, innumerable quantities have made their way into the United States at this point. Things have been out for forever. Of course they have. But I don't normally become attached to them. And orange is not... it's, one of my favorite colors, but it's not, my favorite color. It just looks really nice on Nintendo products.
I had the old Orange Spice GameCube controller.
Yeah. Yeah, that one came out in the United States, and it's just a beautiful color. And then I ordered 2 that are probably more broken than the listing shared or was willing to talk about, but I realized that what I really want is a project in between commissions.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Game Boy that I picked up at the thrift store a few weeks ago looked like it was in perfect condition when I bought it. Turns out the A button had some corrosion underneath it, which was very repairable, but it gave me a good challenge to try and figure out while I was just waiting for one commission or another. I do have 3 commissions in the works right now for that endeavor. I've got a GameCube restoration. I've got a Game Boy Advance SP build and a Game Boy Advance build that I'm waiting on parts for. The Cube restoration shouldn't be that bad. It's mostly just dust and dirt. But the controller's going to need a rebuild. So I'm just going to let... It's for one of my former students. It's his birthday coming up. And his mom... Or I guess this is what he wanted. It's a GameCube. So his mom found him one. And I said, why don't you let me take a look at that? And I opened it up and I was like, whoa, dirty. And she's like, you know what? Why don't you just tell me when it's done? Because you're stressing me out right now. I'm like, it'll be fine. It works. Just needs a little TLC, you know?
Yeah.
What I really ought to do is send her a picture of the Game Boy Color that I picked up, which was absolutely abominably filthy. Be like, look at this now. It's clean. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's clean. The one big challenge with the GameCube, though, is going to be de-yellowing it. The front faceplate is just all disgusting because of that bromine plastic that they used.
Yeah.
Man, I just can't get a smooth... Spick and span. Yep. That's... That's the goal.
Anything else you've been working on recently?
No, pretty much just that. I mean, this school week has been kind of miserable. I don't really know what got into the students. Maybe it was just a full moon or something, but they're just all over the place. For the first time in 10 years, I had to throw a student out of my classroom. That doesn't feel good. For me or him. And it was a student that I generally get along really well with, too. It's like I get it. If you're having a bad day, you know, everybody's entitled to have a bad day every now and again. But, like, you see me once a week. Like, hold it together, man. Yeah, Golly is right, remote error. But we got to play some Chrono Trigger last night. That was a lot of fun. Really loving that game. And We're some percentage of the way through it at this point. Not what I would call maybe a significant percentage, but a percentage. And now that I've finished Super Metroid, I can go on to finally play Prime Remaster.
Mm-hmm.
This will be my first time playing through Metroid Prime. I never played it before.
Ah.
So as I say at the top of every Zach Sucks at Games episode, I did not grow up with video games. I was the perennial player 2 for my buddy Nathan. But, you know, we didn't have video games in my house. So I completely missed GameCube up until later. And Nathan had very little interest in playing Metroid, which always kind of baffled me because it was one of my favorites, or Super Metroid was. He had that, but his dad liked to play it, and that was one of the few that if Nathan wasn't hogging the TV, I could, I was somewhat decent at. And remain so today. Ridley still gives me problems, but for the most part, I'm pretty okay at Super Metroid. But I'm not very good at first-person shooters in general, so I'm hoping that Nintendo has made theirs accessible. I mean, their games tend to be pretty accessible.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that Metroid stays the course and is challenging yet accessible. My in-laws were in town all week this week.
How was that?
It was good. It's really good. We got a lot done. It's always nice when we have an extra set of hands for the kid.
Yeah.
Just end up being more productive. We got a colossal snowstorm just before they got here, and I think I mentioned it. I was out like shoveling it the wee hours of the morning, or the wee hour, early hours of the night rather, and so I got home from work on Monday. I'm like, I gotta go shovel like right now, and they pulled in the driveway, and I'm like, well, I haven't started shoveling yet, so I don't know what we're gonna do. And the neighbor, like, just randomly brought her snowblower over, and she's like, are you trying to get your Volkswagen out? I'm like, no, I'm trying to get my in-laws in. She goes, okay, give me 15 minutes. And I was like, okay. And she did. She snowblowed our driveway for us, which was pretty dope.
That's really convenient.
Yes.
I'm looking at our weather forecast, and we have snow overnight forecasted. I'm like,
dang.
what?
Yeah, we got another blizzard on Tuesday, so yay! Just what I always wanted. More snow in March. Like I like snow and ice and stuff, for hockey or skiing or whatever. But like at this point in the year, I'm just like, nah, I'm good. Let's cool it on this. My mom and my dad always have a bet that, or whether or not mom will be able to work in her garden by the 1st of April. And so the winner has to... So if the snow's out by the 1st of April, mom has to cook dad a dinner. If the snow's not out, dad has to cook mom a dinner. Obviously, of their respective choosing. Yeah, remote error, agreed. That is a real concern. But when my brother and I were about, I want to say like he was 12, making me 15. We said, all right, let's really get real with this. And not only will mom and dad, make each other dinner, make a special dinner, we will help. Like, we're part of this too. So ever since then, my brother and I have kind of like operated as sous chefs. Now, I'm a much better cook than my dad is. So what ends up happening is I end up cooking my mom a dinner.
Well, I'm sure she appreciates it.
Yeah, she does. And I'm always a little butthurt at my brother because he always teams with my mom and has not had to pay out since, like, I don't know, in the last decade. This boot is driving me crazy. So you and I got some kind of exciting news in the music world this week.
Yeah, Hurricane Nita.
Yes. Nita Strauss is back with Alice Cooper. It's very notable. Mike and I are both very big Alice Cooper fans. And we agreed that adding Nita Strauss to the band was one of the best moves he's ever made. She's an absolutely fantastic guitarist. And, like, Alice is a very, like, encouraging dude. Like, he's, if one of his band members wants to go try something else for a little while, he, like, is super, open to that. And that's really cool. So she went and toured with Demi Lovato for a little while. And I saw some of her solos on that show, and they were just as nuts as they are with Alice.
Yeah.
So it seems to me like it was the right call. But I'm glad she's back. Makes me excited to see the Alice Cooper band again, whenever that happens. But first, Foo Fighters. I'm very excited to see Foo Fighters again. A little trepidatious. Foo Fighters without Taylor Hawkins is going to be an interesting experience, to say the least. But I'm glad I talked my buddy John into going. We saw them at Fenway Park a few years back, 2017, 2018, something like that. And it was one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. It was so cool. But yeah, backtracking for a minute. Remote Error in the chat wrote that they are tired of the snow, worried about wrecking the shoulder. Yeah, me too. I have a bad back to begin with, and shoveling is not helpful. Feels bad, yo. Alright, I think I'm finally done with white. 20 minutes of nothing but white. Boring. Let's get some red in there. Fire engine red here. So is this commission you're working on for someone you know, or someone just picked up on the internet?
Yes and no. I believe he was someone who was part of the TMNT beta playtester.
Oh, nice.
And so met him through that at least. So
that's awesome. I guess it's worth noting here that for anybody watching on either on Twitch or on YouTube, Broody and I do keep our commissions pretty open. So if you want something done by us, something like what you see here, we are happy to print and paint for those purposes. We have a large library of models that we can fabricate, and more being added all the time. I'm super excited about the Daughters of the Dragon finally getting published from C27.
Mm-hmm.
I did have to make a few 3D sculpt modifications to Colleen, though. It was a little... There's just a couple of things going on with her costume that I was like, what is these decisions?
No.
Uh-oh.
Dropped the paint.
Oh, no!
Luckily, it's in the dropper still.
Oh, good. We don't have an Adam scenario.
Yeah.
So, our monthly family dinner is coming up next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And, usually family dinner consists of, my mom and my dad, my brother, his wife, my cousin and her family, my other cousin, her brother, and, this time around, it's my parents and me and the baby. Everybody else has forsaken us. Family dinners are... What's up?
You and your wife can't make it?
No, my wife has to work. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what you get sometimes. Like, not everything is going to line up all the time. It is unfortunate. Remote error, it is. Although my brother's being a dummy about it. Like, so his birthday is midweek this week. And every year on his birthday, he and my cousin Sean do what they call winning weekend.
Mm-hmm.
To which I should add, I've never been invited. But I mean, part of that is because it's in the middle of the week on a school week. So just to be perfectly clear, there, it's not that I don't get invited. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about because winning weekend is a weekend. Whatever, fine. I've never been invited. But they go skiing and copious amounts of alcohol are consumed. Fine, whatever. They were supposed to do it this weekend, but my brother had to stay home and take care of his dog because he couldn't find anybody to pet sit. So they moved it to next weekend, and my mom called or texted everybody to confirm that who's coming to family dinner, and Tim goes, we're skiing. I'm like, really, dude? Like, this is our attempt to celebrate your birthday. So, I don't know. I love my brother, but he sometimes only thinks of himself.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel as we paint feathers.
Feathers are annoying to paint.
They're not really feathers, they're like plates, but
yeah,
they're kind of feather-esque. So I finished watching Clarkson's Farm this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I understand where the town of Chipping Norton and the council and whatnot are concerned about Jeremy Clarkson operating like a farm restaurant and stuff on his property. Like, I get it. That's going to cause like traffic and stuff. But like, they're just being giant jerks to him. Like, basic farming necessities he just isn't allowed to do. Like, building a dirt road on his property so that he can drive his tractor not on the main road. That seems like a common courtesy thing, and they're not letting him do it.
Yeah, it seems like a major dick move.
His business manager is repeatedly like, I've never seen a council behave like this. Remoter, I honestly don't think I'll ever try skiing. A movie kind of ruined that for you? Go on. Having the imagery of bones out of place? What movie was that? See, I'm just stuck on the skiing scenes in this is one of the James Bond movies. I don't remember which one.
The Spy Who Loved Me.
That's the one. Thank you.
That's the one that had the opening bit. Then there was the other Roger Moore one. Oh goodness, what was the second one? Because it was like the young girl who was like completely underage.
Yeah.
That was like hitting on him.
I can't remember. My wife and I started to watch all the James Bond movies at one point. Then we had to move. And that process kind of stopped. Oh, okay. I've not seen that one, but I've heard about it.
Which one?
It's an American horror film called Frozen. Not to be confused with a Disney movie, the same title. When I was just out of college, my high school friends and I used to go to the independent theater near where we lived, and on Friday nights it would be like $5 for a quote-unquote extreme movie night. And that was one of the options one week, and we would be there until like 2 a.m. The manager, like the movie would start at like 8 and get done by 10. And we just hang around in the lobby forever. Wow, wings are so tedious. No. Drum. I'm gonna try something.
Okay, that sounds exciting.
This may work and it may not. I need a darker red. Actually, I can probably mix it. Yeah, that'll work. So because the inside of his wings are distinctly not in the light, I'm gonna mix up a slightly darker red to highlight, or to, I guess, low light with them with. A little more red than that. Basically, I used a brownish red to sort of dull out the red that I was working with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate it. I think it'll work. Yeah, I will. Sweet. Have you ever played Dead of Winter?
No.
It's a good board game. I'm playing it with my students right now. And wouldn't you know it, the daughter of my boss, who's in my group, and our survivors died on turn 0.
Yep.
It was awesome. Her reaction was really funny. You sit me down, you get us all set up, takes forever, and all that happens is I die on my first turn. Thanks. It was a riot.
Kind of like losing the Wager Master before turn 1.
It's not that bad, because, like, in Dead of Winter, at least you got 2 survivors to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, I guess it's not technically turn 0, it's turn 1, but it feels like turn 0 because you're still just kind of learning the ropes, testing the waters of the various actions you can take. Oh, I like that. It's coming out really cool. Oh, my brother's ill-advised trip to the Alps got canceled.
What happened?
There's no snow.
Oh, that's problematic.
Yeah, you can't really do a ski trip with no snow. Although I think my mom's pretty happy about it. And I imagine his wife is pretty happy about it too. We were talking about it today, and I was like, I was just talking about how my brother, like, occasionally just makes impulsive decisions that don't really make a whole lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom said, well, like she was sitting there trying to defend it, like, well, you know, he found the money in a different account. I'm like, it doesn't matter. He still like probably go on your honeymoon before you go on a ski vacation. Like, going to British Columbia is one thing. Like, that's at least, you know, not terribly far away.
Yeah.
But
For you.
Switzerland, like, that's a bit much.
Okay, I think I got base coat down on my first character.
Nice.
I think using a white primer was not the best route.
Yeah, I was wondering that. Like, it's
Army green turns out much lighter.
Yeah, it does.
But hopefully a wash with Biotan will darken it up.
Darken it up a little bit. Yeah, Biotan green is the one that we liked, right? Yeah, it is. What was the one that we thought was stupid? No, that's not it. The one that made the remember this one, the one that made the Riddler goons all shiny and weird?
Not off the top of my head. I remember talking about it though.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah, Colia green shade. That one behaved oddly and badly. Alright, I finally got some red highlights down. Pigments be tricky, yeah. Well, the old Citadel washes were like... They weren't formulated right. Like, obviously, Nuln Oil and Agrix Earthshade were, but... a lot of them were just like, this is too aggressive. Shoot. It's not good. Back to white for a moment. Maybe. Ha. That's one problem. There's another. That was a big problem. Alright, that looks a little bit better. Alright, I gotta do some skin highlights now. And of course I gotta remember what the color pattern is, which means I need to look where I wrote it down, which is on my phone. Is it? Yes, okay. Ow. I've got a cut on my thumb, like right where I would need to put pressure on the lid of a paint pot. Ow. This is really... This paint pot's out to get me. Somehow I got it open without spilling it. Success. This was a triumph.
Wash is coming in clutch.
They often do. So you excited for the big old charity stream at the end of April?
I am.
I genuinely cannot wait. We're gonna have so much fun. For those unaware, we're doing another big Arkham Horror 2nd Edition charity streamathon thing, wherein every dollar donated to Dartmouth Cancer Center, which is it's a cancer research center up here near where I live, that I do a bike ride for, and we're trying to basically raise the money for my entry, so it's like I get double punished. 100-mile bike, 4-hour or whatever Arkham stream, in which we're actively getting punished, and then 100-mile bike on top of that. It's gonna be great. Anyway, so the way we do it is every dollar donated changes the game state in some way, usually for the worse. Oftentimes it results in us getting cursed, although sometimes Blink is nice and blesses us. Cult of Gloom has already agreed to curse Taffy Man into oblivion, which should be fun. And for every $50 we raise, we will be spinning the Wheel of Random Regret, which will be terrific. Forcing one of us to do something awful to ourselves on camera. The punishments are being devised by my possibly evil 14-year-old niece. I'm quite sure she's lost her mind on some of these, but there's some good ones on the list. And I will have the baboon with me in studio, which is going to be pretty exciting. We've got Chris Kirkman from Dice Hate Me Games joining us on the line. That's going to be great. He's working on getting Richard Lanius into the chat, the creator of Arkham Horror, so that's going to be pretty cool too. But it'll be a good long stream, good people, good fun, raising money for a good cause, and raising money for me to further punish myself beyond the purview of the game. So good stuff. April 21st, right here on the channel.
Mistakes were made.
Uh-oh.
Nothing I can't fix and just can't over, but I started painting the boots this grayish color when I should have done them brown.
Oh, whoops.
But I can just paint over.
Nonetheless, I'll trigger the learning and growing button. Burp.
So I played Arkham Horror yesterday.
Say again?
I played Arkham Horror yesterday, going through Forgotten Age still.
Yeah. How's that going?
So far so good.
Ants?
Huh?
Have you gotten to ants yet?
No.
Oh boy.
I don't remember the ants.
Oh, the ants are a nightmare.
We had lots of snakes.
I think it's Forgotten Age that is ants. Maybe I'm just deranged. It's entirely plausible.
Monterey Jack is outstanding.
Oh, he's so good.
I'm having so much fun with him.
Yeah.
Just funding everybody.
Yep. All right, Remote Error. Thanks for stopping by, man. We'll talk to you real soon. April 21st, be here for Arkham. It's going to be a great time.
But there's a new item in Scarlet Keys called Embezzled Treasure.
Yeah.
It's free to play, and as a fast action, you can move 2 resources from your resource pool to Embezzled Treasure.
Yep.
Up to a maximum of 10.
Okay.
Then for every 2 you have on there, the next scenario you can start. You can choose an investigator to start with an extra resource.
Okay.
So it's not limited, so you can have 2 copies out at the same time.
Okay.
I ended up starting the scenario with like 5 extra resources. It was just like, I don't need all 5 of these. What do you guys need? And just started handing out resources to start with. So we all started with like 6 and 7 resources. And then I probably played 2 Faustian bargains on my first turn to hand out 10 more resources.
Right on.
Yep. So our fighter was well equipped with lots of money to pay for stuff, pay for his weapons and stuff, and everyone was able to like set up their stuff right away, and it was great. But we were doing the Threads of Fate, which is the one that has like the three different agendas or three different acts.
Okay, yeah.
Like, that you're investigating like different things.
Yeah.
So we kind of crushed it. It was great.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
We lost the fighter. Alejandro got kidnapped, and there was a night gaunt with 12 health,
Yep.
and it was like, oh, we need to kill this thing and save Alejandro. But then the fighter was about to die, and got like extra enemies and stuff like that, and so he was just engaged with the night gaunt, and had in his hand the "I'll see you in hell" card.
Oh God, that card is great.
All of your enemies, and then just suffer one physical trauma.
That's awesome.
So he ended up doing like 18 points of damage by playing the one card.
That's so great. That card is so fantastic when you get to really abuse it.
Yeah.
Who do you have as a fighter? What character?
Mark Harrigan.
Sorry?
Mark Harrigan.
Excellent.
We've got Mark Harrigan, and one other person's playing Silas.
Oh, cool. Silas is very versatile.
Yes, I love Silas. I'm playing Monterey Jack, and then we have Amanda Sharp.
Oh, cool. I don't think I've ever used her.
Yeah, she's like the student or whatever.
Yep. I use her in Elder Sign pretty frequently, but...
Yeah. She's really powerful.
Yeah.
And she's got some neat mechanics.
Alright, I need... Yeah, I guess that'll do in a pinch. Oh, you know what? I'll mix it. Wait a minute. I don't think I have the right one. Ooh. Wait a minute. Yes, oh my gosh. I found another use for color shift paint.
What's up?
Falcon's goggles.
Mm-hmm.
I've base coated them red, so it's going to be mostly red here. But I'm going to use a green-red color shift paint to give them some sort of a metallic-y sheen to it. I'm hoping it works. It's called Evil Forest from Green Stuff World. Well, that's mostly just green, but that's fine. Green Stuff World, one of the few websites that I still bother to read their newsletters. don't hate that. I don't hate it at all. Alright, I think Falcon himself... maybe I'll highlight it just a little bit more with the red. I was going to say he's done, but I don't think he is. I think I need to go... Not quite this bright, but like just add a little bit to the red I've got. Yeah, that'll look good. Just a little bit of edge highlighting here. What's the most irritating part? Edge highlighting.
Yeah.
But it really does knock these up into the stratosphere, if done right. Sometimes I get it right, other times I just bugger it completely, like this. But I might go ahead and dry brush this on. Yeah, I think I'm going to. Because I think it'll make the wings look a little bit better. Go straight for the source here. Yeah, okay. I'm quite fond of that. A little extra brightness on the wings. Just knocks it up a little bit. Alright. Now I gotta figure out how to do a cloud. That seems like it might be a job for the almighty Google.
Let's say if you started with like a Mechanica Standard Gray.
Really? That dark?
For like the really deep parts of it, yeah. Followed it up with a gray sear and then top off with white.
Okay.
I guess it makes it look more like a stormy cloud than a like normal.
Yeah, no,
cloud.
I'm looking for more of like a like majestic cloud almost.
Then maybe just doing the gray sear with white.
I think it's just gray sear, yeah. I need a bigger brush though. Maybe I do want to put a little darker. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's very cartoony. I'm gonna toss a little Mech Standard Gray in. Just see what I can come up with. Oh yeah, that's looking nice. Kind of Bob Ross this around a little bit. I'm gonna do like I did with Green Goblin for the base too, and instead of doing the usual Agrex Earthshade, low light, use Null and Oil, so I can do like a building top.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a risk here and throw in just a little bit of blue into my gradient. Just a tiny bit. There it is. That's the one. A little too much. I don't hate this at all. This is actually coming out way better than I thought it would.
Good.
I do want to hit it with a little Null and Oil, though, in the deepest recesses, because it is a comic book after all. Want that to actually rinse out properly. Down. This is oddly focused work.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the Nuln Oil to go exactly where I want it to, and kind of failing. I'm gonna have to hit this with a white dry brush, I think, which is fine. Give them a more fluffy texture anyway. Let's try that. See how that looks. All right. Oh, you know what?
What?
I never highlighted the silver bits on his uniform. Let's do that while I wait for that Nuln Oil to dry. Falcon here has been the longest miniature it's taken me to work on for quite some time. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. My was babysitting my nephew today.
Yep.
And since my sister would have had to drop him off really early this morning.
Yeah.
Why not just let him stay the night?
Sure.
It'd be a whole lot easier. It'd drop him off last night and not have to get up as early for everyone. And then he got me up at 6 o'clock anyway.
Well, that's what kids do.
Yeah, I know.
No, we are currently very blessed with how our daughter sleeps. But also, like, my wife's naturally up on weekends, naturally up a little bit earlier than I am. And conversely, I'm up naturally a little bit earlier than she is on weekdays. So it balances out pretty nice. But yeah, they are quite good at getting you up when you don't want to be up yet. Oh. Oops. That's done wrongly. Oh, it might be time for some new brushes over here. I'm not happy about it. Oops. It doesn't go there. What am I doing? Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, normally, you know, I can finish highlighting whatever I started the previous week and get most of base coating done on something else in one stream. Or, you know, yeah. It looks like, I mean, Penguin took us moments to finish last time. He was really easy. And we started Falcon pretty early. Got all the base coating done last week, and I'm, you know, we're here an hour and a half in, and I'm still fumbling around trying to finish him up. It's definitely one of the longer ones of late. But I guess that's the nature of the beast, right?
Yep.
There's a lot of hand detail that had to go into this one to make it a little bit more comics accurate. Unfortunately, this is not a 3D printed one, so I didn't have access to manipulating the sculpt the way I did with Colleen Wing. We got some good ones dropping this week from C27.
Mm-hmm.
Misty Knight being one of them. I suggested Stark Contrast for her name. We've got Wong, Enchantress, Misty Knight, and MODOK.
Okay.
I'm not disappointed by that.
I was going to say for Prey, they've got, I don't know, they dropped Johnny Bravo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Mm-hmm. I need to actually pick that one up before. That was part of the ones for this month.
Yeah.
And I had that Angelo one that I shared earlier.
Yeah.
And, forget the third one. Ooh.
Adam and I started trying to organize the bases folder, and like both of us burnt out. That folder is a mess. All right, I'm gonna see if I can clean up the clouds here. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna hold off on that for a second because I think I can use this opportunity to put the Nuln Oil on the base. It puts the Nuln Oil on the base. So I saw an interesting thing on a comic book adjacent speculation content site recently, or this past week, wherein they were saying that Marvel's Wolverine, which is by the people who are doing the Spider-Man games, should be a Dark Souls-like. While I don't necessarily agree, I don't hate it. There's some part of that appeals to me. Because it does, like, it necessitates... I mean, Wolverine necessitates being basically deadified, you know, on a fairly regular basis in order for his stories to work. So why not put him in a genre of game where being dead is like, you know, a huge part of it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you finish yours?
I did just finish, yes.
Okay, I am very nearly done, so we'll probably shorten this one tonight. See if we can get ourselves to bed at a reasonable hour. I'm just trying to do a little dry brushing on these clouds. Oh yes, that is exactly what I wanted to have happen, but I need a little bit more paint than that. Call this the influffification. Fluffy clouds, fluffy clouds. I think that looks like clouds. Ish.
Sorry, let me pull up your screen instead of mine. Yeah, that looks really good.
Alright. Cool. And then we're going to let that Nuln Oil dry for a moment. And in the meantime, I will do base ring. Which very obviously... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. There's one thing I'm forgetting to do. Do I need to? Yes. Okay. I need you. Little brush. Nuln Oil dry faster. I want to finish this, gosh darn it. I mean, it's red for his base ring, right? It's gotta be.
Yeah.
Okay. Use that a lot. It makes me disappointed, but it is the right call. I genuinely can't see another argument. Ah, so close. Genuinely the worst part in some respects, because it's the last thing you have to do. On Gotham City Chronicles, it's just, you know, paint it black, call it good. Warhammer, same thing. Or, you know, whatever you happen to be basing with. So, like, the Chaos Dwarfs that I do, or the lava stuff, that is so tedious, actually. Now I'm thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the lava bases are like a 9-step process.
Yeah, they are. Lava is such a pain in the butt.
It looks so good, but it is a giant pain. And think about how many times I've had to do it, too. To get all those Chaos Dwarfs squared.
Right.
Alright, one last really, really quick thing. Alright, I need this one. Oh dear. That's not done well. Get water off brush. I forgot I had this. It's an actual wet or white dry paint instead of using like a weird gray. Yeah, that seems good. Uh-oh. All right. I think that'll do it. I'm in no way disappointed with how this came out. I thought I was going to be really bummed about it, but the cloud really pulled it together. It doesn't even look like an explosion anymore. It genuinely looks like a cloud.
Yep.
Ed from Explosions, eat your heart out. All right. There we go. Yeah, let's show them off here. Let's get a good shot. Actually, hold on. Can I do this? Oh, yeah. Nice. All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. If you liked what you saw, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and do all that stuff. Commissions are open. Hit us up. Messages, direct messages here on Twitch, YouTube, Discord if you happen to have us. Our prices are pretty reasonable, we think, and you know, we enjoy doing them. 3D print commissions, obviously part of that. I will be back on Monday. Oh, first of all, Broody Gamut, thank you for hanging out. Really appreciate it. It makes this so much easier. I'll be back on Monday for more Chrono Trigger at about 8 p.m. Eastern time. give or take, depending on how dinner goes, etc. And then again on Friday, and then we will be back here for more of this 10 p.m. every Saturday, at least as much as we can. Hopefully we'll have some more of the crew with us soon. I know Adam's been itching to get back to painting. He's just been slammed with work stuff. But yeah, we will continue doing this until we run out of miniatures to paint and die. So we'll be doing this for a long while. Take care, everybody. Be safe, be well, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Later.